Undivided attention, please. The presentation is going to be quick. You're actually going to find most of your questions will be answered during the presentation. If you have any questions left over, I will be very happy to address them once I'm done with the presentation. All right, everybody on board with that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is George Pearlstein, and I work for the Union Assistance Program. The Union Assistance Program is the clinical entity, the clinical arm of Local 100. We are not the EAP, the Employee Assistance Program, Management's Program, which is where you wind up when you come up dirty on a random, an incident or accident, 21-day return to work, or reasonable suspicion. When you wind up at the EAP, they will take away your pass, take you out of work, out of service, take away your paycheck, and you're not going to get it back for months and even years. That's how they work. The UAP, the Union Assistance Program, is voluntary and confidential. And because of that, what transit don't know they can't hurt you with, it's non-disciplinary, no consequences to coming in and getting the help that you need, that you want. A quick history on the UAP. Back in 1980, Washington Department of Transportation came out with the drug and alcohol testing program, and transit jumped right on it. Members were getting taken out of service, suspended, given treatment. Some of them bouncing back and forth, wound up losing their jobs. A lot of members were afraid of losing their jobs. They figured before they're going to lose their job, they're going to come in and get some help. But the only show in town back then was the EAP, and the EAP really didn't care if you volunteered into the program or if you came in dirty. Either way, you're out of service, you don't leave their office with your pass, and you don't have a paycheck for quite a while. Come 1988, Sonny Hall, Ted Mapes, Ray Campbell, a couple other fellows, union members just like yourselves, created the Union Assistance Program as a safe haven, somewhere where members can go to get the help that they want, that they need, that they so truly, richly deserve, without any fear of any job jeopardy, any discipline, any consequence or repercussion. That's 1988, that's over 26 years ago, and in that time, we have literally helped thousands of members as well as their family members. We have done this through a full-time staff of certified credentialed counselors, including a female licensed clinical social worker. And like I say, it's all full-time, it's all confidential, and the confidentiality is the very cornerstone of our program. Before I get into exactly what it is that we do, I want to tell you what we don't do. We do not get involved in union issues. We don't get involved in your seniority number and your when you're going to have the next pick, when you're going to get your next work boots. We don't get involved in medical insurance plans, dental insurance plans, so on and so forth. You want a mortgage, you need a lawyer's number. It's not what we do. You work some overtime, you're going to get paid for it. All those issues, bring up to the hall, bring up to Mr. Castile. They're going to help you out, get it straightened out for you. What we do is we help members who are having personal issues. Yes, we are the drug and alcohol program, but we do much, much more than that, because I believe nobody ever wakes up in the morning and says, hey, I got an idea. I want to become a drug addict. Or, hey, wow, how about that? I'm going to become an alcoholic. Nobody does that. There's a process. So we help members who are stressed out, who have anger issues, domestic issues, gambling addiction, internet addiction, overeating, budget counseling, anything that's upsetting your lives, your ability to focus, to enjoy your life, your family, to come into work, go home, and enjoy the fruits of your labor. We are there, ready, willing, and able to help you with certified, credentialed counselors, and including a social worker. That is what we do. Now, I'm not here to suggest that anybody in this room has any kind of issues or any kind of problems, or you got to come in right away to get help. That's not what this visit is about. But I'm here to tell you, to let you know that this program exists to help you if you want that help, if you feel that you need that help. I'm also here to remind you that life happens on life's terms. We don't decide what's going to happen to us when we leave this room, when we go home tonight, next week, next month, next year. It's out of our control, and things happen. But I do know this. Each one of us has been around the block how many times? We know how to step over the cracks, and even if we trip up a little bit or on a piece of ice or what have you, we catch our balance and we're back on track. But nevertheless, I also am aware that most, if not all of you, have experienced those days where it seems like the entire world has just fell on your shoulders, just like flatten you on a pavement like some cartoon character. Okay? And you're just beyond how to deal with like all these problems that hit you all at once. And you lose some sleep, and you lose your appetite, and you get all stressed out. And stress is a horrible thing. People under stress, they're going to do anything to get rid of it. They're going to start blaming others for their problems. They get angry at their family members, their friends, their co-workers, their supervisors. Have they done anything with the problems that they have? No. The problems are still there, right there, in front of them. But now they added extra on top of that. They got a bunch of enemies. A lot of people like to have a glass of wine, maybe two, with Sunday dinner. Next thing you know, they're up to 4, 5, 6 glasses. You like to have a couple of beers watching the game. Whoa, you're knocking out a 6-pack. Or maybe in the middle of the week you decide on the way home you're going to pick up a 6-pack or a bottle of booze or a bottle of wine. And you polish it off before you go to sleep. Or you decide to call, what the heck was that guy, Johnny something or other. He lives like 2 blocks over. You saw him the other day. Boy, he had good stuff back in junior high school. Let me see if I can find him. Get some of that wacky weed, some of that skunk off of him. Get myself just right, you know? And like, brothers and sisters, I am not judging what you do. That's not what I'm here to do. But I do have one question for each and every single one of you. If that is what's going on in your lives, is that truly the direction that you would choose to take? Is that the path you want your life to be on? Or perhaps you've already started down that slippery slope and you're trying to turn around and try to claw your way back, and it's just not working because the Lord knows it's tough. It is tough to get back out of that hole that some people dig for themselves. We are there, ready, willing, and able to help you if you want that help from us, and that's what we do. So, how do we do it? Well, first thing is you have to decide that you want some help. So you come in, you're a volunteer. Okay, that means you come in and go if and as you please. And you tell us all about what's going on in your life. What is it that's troubling you? Anything and everything you tell us is kept in the strictest confidence. Protected by the same laws that protect your conversations with your doctors and with your lawyers. Additionally, the contract specifically prohibits management from asking us at the UAP who our clients are. Powerful level of protection for your confidentiality. And like I said, the confidentiality is the very cornerstone of our program. So you've told us what's up. We're going to ask you a bunch of questions because we really want to understand what it is we're dealing with. And based on that information, we're going to make a recommendation for you to get treatment by a provider who specializes in your particular area of concern. These providers are located throughout the tri-state area. They have hours 7 days a week. You can make appointments early in the morning, late at night. You never miss a minute of time from work. You don't miss a penny out of your paycheck. And we make sure that these providers will accept your medical insurance plan so that the cost for this treatment doesn't stop you from getting what you want, what you need, what you have come to us for help with. And that's primarily what the program is. A lot of members have come through the program, have gone through other programs before they came to transit. Some people, they do well for a while, they fall off the wagon, they come back, they come into us, and we see that obviously outpatient treatment may not be the answer for them, may not be enough. You know, sometimes NyQuil doesn't exactly take care of your cough. Sometimes you need penicillin. We have a way of getting you into a rehab, 30 days, hooking you up with a leave of absence, personal business. Nobody knows where you are. It's nobody's business but your own. You get a higher, more intensive level of treatment, and with God's blessings, you'll go on with your life a happier fellow, lady. And that's pretty much what it's about. Other than that, we also are involved with two other items in the contract. The first one is a DWI. The DWI is an arrest. You get stopped, you blow high, cuff you, take you down to the precinct. Any arrest must be reported to managers. They're going to find out anyway. You don't report it, now you got another headache on your hands. You come in, get a hold of Mr. Castillo, let him walk you through the process of reporting it. You're going to be sent to Labor Relations, and Labor Relations will have you sign a stipulation, an agreement, that you will come to us for treatment. You come in, you go through the intake process like I described a minute ago. We send you to the provider, they do an intake, they produce the letter, they send it to us. You come back to us, we give you the letter from the provider. We create a letter of our own, put the two letters together. You go back to Labor Relations, you got the letters, this is what the information they want. But smart money is coming sober that day because they're going to send you down for a sample. And you should be back to work within a week, but you guys are CDLs, so there's a whole bunch of other things going on there. You got to get like some kind of restricted duty or something, right? Okay, and but you guys really know more about that than I do, so let's suffice to say that that's what will happen. But you're eligible to come back to work after about a week as far as transit is concerned, other than the CDL issue. You complete the treatment. The penalty that was assessed for the DWI by transit is set aside. So there's no direct discipline regarding the DWI. Should you not take a hint and decide to have a second DWI, we're going to start wondering about you maybe a little bit, you know. But in any event, you got a big problem on your hands because the first incident will be treated as if you were penalized, which in fact you were, except that it was set aside. And the second time, with progressive discipline, you've got a whole bushel load of problems. That's the DWI portion. There's a very similar program involved known as the first-time marijuana. Now, there's a reason they call it first-time marijuana. In the first instance, it's the first time because it is only the first time, not the second time, or third, or fifth time, okay? And the second part of that is the marijuana part, okay? So it's only for marijuana. I don't care if you call it pot, call it skunk, okay? Wacky weed, or ganja, or whatever it is that you want to call it, okay? That's all it is. It doesn't apply to coke, dope, pills, so on and so forth. Pot, period. You go through the same basic process. The big difference is that pot is going to stay in your system at least 30 days. And you cannot come back to transit to work for transit until you can give them a clean urine sample. Okay, so and that's going to take at least 30 days after the last time you decided that it's time to party out. Okay, and that's pretty much what the program is about. So as I'm finishing up, I'm going to ask. I just want to throw out a question. Anybody, please, no problem. Shout out an answer if you think you got it. How much is the first-time DWI run in New York State after all expenses are included? And let's just forget about the CDL portion for 1 minute. Anybody have any idea? Thank you. I heard 10,000 exactly. Okay. Now $10,000, that's a lot of money. So what I'm going to try to do for you is I'm going to try to break it down for you. $10,000 is equal to 200. That's 200 cab rides at $50 each. 200 cab rides. Okay, now for those of you who haven't quite figured out why I'm using cab rides, I'm going to tell you. Because if you are out having a good time, you're at a party, at a fair, a ball game, barbecue, what have you, you've had a couple to drink, you know what they're saying, bus driving is drunk driving, and they're serious, okay? Get somebody who's sober to drive your car. And if you don't have anybody sober to drive your car, you gotta pass or take a cab. You're ahead of the game, for crying out loud. Grab another cab in the morning. You still got 198 cab rides to go before you come up to a DWI. Hey, that's how it is. Those are the numbers. Never mind who you got to visit in the hospital, and God forbid whose funeral you got to attend. So, with all of that, again, we are voluntary, we're absolutely confidential. We are served by professionals, full-time in the office. We're located at 519 8th Avenue. I'm going to be giving out some information. 519 8th Avenue between 35th and 36th Street, right near Penn Station. We're open Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and we have a late night on Wednesdays until 7 p.m. Okay, please avail yourself of the program. Please, if you got a partner, a co-worker, anybody, okay, who's having some issues, they're starting to come in to work and they're getting more and more down around the mouth and just whatever upset, let them know that there's a program that's there to help them and only to help them and not hurt them. Please let them know. And we also have an answering machine, but the answering machine can only give you so much advice having to do with leaving your numbers twice, okay? We'll call you back. So with that, I want to thank you very much for your attention. I'm going to be passing out some information, some business cards, pens, and any questions? Let's hear it.